today, my people. The truth is that you are love, and you are loved simply by being who you are. And the path of awakening is to awaken to the truth that we are enough at a core level, and not just enough, that we are epic and that we are profoundly free. But if we're looking at ourselves from a perspective of being free, if you are looking at yourself thinking that you'll be free once something happens in the outer world, you are not asking the right questions. Awakening comes from the pure desire in your heart to be of complete service to the world, including yourself. Awakening comes from a deep, deep longing in your heart to be happy. And it's absolutely not limited by anything that has ever happened to you. So I offer this to you because I wanted to make sure that people are seeing the truth of awakening. Because the truth is not about who's in political power. It's not about what's happening at all in the external world. It's not about who you are as an individual. It's completely about the awakening to who you are beyond who you've ever been told, how you behave, what you have and what you don't have, and the infinite nature of life itself. I'm reading something, James. Not even just who we are loved by who we are, just we are big, do take up space, and we are loved for that in its entirety. Exactly. We are completely loved, but the thought that we are loved by something outside of ourselves that is not in ourselves is also an illusion. So where is God? God is all that is. God is not a male figure. God is not limited to the Bible. There is no such thing as one God being better than others. The Creator is a unified field of love. And that unconditional love is inherently within the spark of life that is inside everybody. So there is nobody that does not have the potential to awaken, meaning everyone has the potential to awaken, and everyone can do the inner work to clear and heal and dismantle the illusion that anything outside of us is more responsible for our own happiness as spiritual beings having human experiences than we are. So I wanted to clear the air with you all, because this has been about 20 years that I've been in this conversation, 25 years of really understanding my longing. And it's been since 1997 that I've had my hands on people and that I've done healing, where I started getting guidance, and it's been since 2014. So numbers. I say this because this is my life's work. I want to support you in your awakening, and I know that it's my job to do so. Not that I'm above you, not that anyone's above anyone, but that once you awaken, if you're not helping others awaken, you're not fully doing your work. And it doesn't mean sharing information on an external level, although that's good. Share truth, share knowledge, share resources, share love. That is important, but it is not the same as the inner awakening. It is a way we ground awakening. Once you realize that in the cells of who you are is light and life beyond personal identity, the game is to integrate that with your personal identity. The game is to play being human, knowing you are not limited by everything you've ever been taught or by everything you've always thought that you've been. So if this speaks to you, I'd love to hear from you below. Give me a thumbs up or a heart, or if you have a different point of view, I'd love to hear that. I love these conversations. So how is this landing for you? If you're watching in the now or the future now, please share below. I want to know that we're on the same page, that people are getting that awakening is really not just about external change, but that it's rooted in your own tapping of your own potential. And it's something no one can do for you. It's only something that you can do. And there are many, many ways. I have free classes. You know, there's many spiritual lineages, as there are people. Being alive is a spiritual path. Just the fact that you're alive, you're on a spiritual path. No one knows better than you, yet we need each other to remind one another, not just to pump our egos and we're great and we're special, but everyone is great and everyone has the capacity to love, to be loved, to heal, and to awaken to who we are. We are all equally able to create a world of peace. And it's most effective when we do the inner work to discover and dwell in the identity beyond consciousness. It's not that your physical body is bad. And this is where embodied awakening comes in. This is the feminine path of awakening, but not feminine just for women. Feminine for balancing out the imbalance of the masculine and feminine in the world over many, many years of patriarchy. And what that means is that my body is sacred, my mind is sacred, my thoughts, even my issues, your shit, your compost is sacred. Everything is sacred. But there's a relationship between being an infinite being and being a personal being and merging those. And that is called awakening integration. Awakening integration is what I do for a living. I'm an awakening integration teacher and guide, which is once you realize you're a spiritual being, how do you apply the universal wisdom to your life and ultimately inspire people to support other people to tap into the potentiality that we all have to discover the true nature that everything is made of energy. Not just everything is made of energy, but all energy is sacred. And all of life is sacred. And all things that are alive and have been alive and will be alive, including our souls and our spirits, are sacred. This is where the teachings of enlightenment enter the body and unify in the heart. I was taught and initiated into teachings that point to the heart as the bridge between the masculine and feminine. So you have the masculine energy to the heavens, the feminine that grounds into the earth. When the masculine feminine energies of awakening are unified in the heart, we have an opportunity to integrate the spiritual energy of infinite consciousness and the personal identity of living in this world. And so I just want to clear the air today. I want to make sure that this conversation is being heard, that this message is being clear, because there's a lot of confusion and a lot of distraction. And when I started the Awaken Life School in 2018, it was to be able to make sure that real awakening teachings and lineages are being provided and are being available to us, to you. And so what may be in the way of awakening, of your awakening, of the awakening journey might be the thought that what you do or what the world does is responsible for you actually becoming enlightened. And that is just not true. And I'm really freaking passionate today because I've been sitting with this for weeks. I've been sitting with this because I've been wanting to bring this voice and this conversation forward. In 2002, I met an enlightened teacher, and he basically told us that everyone he was teaching was a teacher. And we were doing awakening practices, and I experienced my Kundalini rising. I experienced the layers coming off. And if you've had awakening experiences, please post below. I'd love to know who in this group has had Kundalini awakening. Because once you have Kundalini awakening, you cannot go back. There is no hiding from yourself. Your awareness comes to a point where you understand that everything that you see in the world is a reflection of yourself. Everything that you get it on a cellular level, that how you experience life is a projection of a reflection of the way that vision actually literally works. So who you are is not determined by how people see you. And if you start to find your self-worth based on how people see you or what you do, you're going to suffer, because you have an awareness that your inner is actually fully responsible for how you're experiencing the world. So these are aspects of awakening once you realize that you're a spiritual being having a human experience. And the role of awakening is to clear out all the falsehoods. So the role of the guru in traditional yogic teachings, which is a beautiful lineage of teachings from the East of Vedanta that teaches us about the true nature of reality. The role of guru is the removal of darkness, darkness of ignorance, not darkness as the moon, not darkness of the mystery, but the illusions, the darkness of ignorance where we're sleeping. So awakening is about who you're becoming, who you are, when that which is the false you falls away. And the false you is not to be judged, hated, criticized, blamed, or shamed. Although that's normal in the beginning of awakening, to want to find who's wrong, who's at fault. But eventually, when you start to learn how to take responsibility for all aspects of your life, for your soul, for your karma, for your dharma, for your path, for your service, for your healing, you cannot blame outside for the world, including residing in blame for the external enemy. And in fact, awakening is really the same thing as learning how to truly love. Learning how to love unconditionally through activating the field of the heart that merges all universal spiritual teachings, including all of your energy throughout your lifetimes. And when we learn to integrate the process of awakening into our day-to-day life, that's when we start to be of service in an authentic way. That's when we create miracles. That's when our psychic and intuitive gifts come fully online. That's when our healing gifts come online. And that's when we actually start having profound breakthroughs that heal our ancestral lines. So awakening is absolutely an internal job. How is this landing for you? For those of you watching either in the now or in the future now, you know, I'm really on fire right now. I think we need to, and we get to discover that, you know, there are tools, people, places, and practices available for us to break out of the codependent patterns as to who we are. Those codependents are so deeply rooted that we have to look outside of the mind to discover them. Myself, you know, I do coaching and teaching and workshopping, but I also do remote healing. And when I do remote healing, I get out of my mind and I work with the higher self energy design of myself and the person that I'm working with. And my mentor, she does global higher self healing, which I started doing on the last Unify event, which my body wanted to like do an earth clearing and space clearing. So when we start to work outside of the mind, we start to tune into the energy that is beyond thought. And it's not that thought isn't woven in or crossed through or part of your process or our process of awakening. It's actually equally as important. So there's an illusion that your thoughts are not necessary. So the meditation systems are actually not complete that teach you to just get out of your mind and be a witness. Those systems of just sitting and being mindful are the beginning practices to observe your mind, observe your thoughts. But it used to be that when those teachings were taught, people were in communities where they're fasting, where they were cleansing, where they were in deep communion with their teachers, where they were developing love, stable, high functioning, healthy relationships with Sangha, with community, where the other pieces of your life started to fill in. As the pieces started to fall away, the illusions of the mind and the illusions of false identity fall away, the healthy, high functioning relationships with other awake people would start to fill in and fill you up so that you can live in a functional way in the body. And for some, the left-handed path is about living in the body, and for some it was about ascending out of the body. Myself, I'm an awakening teacher that supports being in the body. So integrating your awakening, having pleasure in the body, healing the pain and the trauma. And I just wrote an article that I'll be releasing soon around pain in the body that comes from thousands of years of patriarchy, abuse, and survival brain and reptilian programming and all of that. And the idea is that when we purify our mind to align with the heart and align with the body and align with the breath, we start to work physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and can integrate our awakening and be of service in a way that is really powerful. We start to impact and affect the world through the simplicity of our presence and our pure intention. When we clear out and we begin to align physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and heal in our intention individually, we can make a difference. We can heal individuals, we can heal cancer, we can create anything. But when we unify from a place of our collective awakening and are all doing the inner work, ooh, that's where the magic happens. That's where the magic happens to amplify the pure intention to bring peace to communities, to bring peace to the planet. And this is happening now because hearts are awakening. And humans, crazy humans, we learn through suffering. Why? Because suffering becomes the loudest part of what you hear, what you pay attention to. And so that's why all the numbers for COVID and all that draw people's attention, because there's a loudness to it. Awakening happens when we can actually get quieter than the pain and get more subtle than the loudness. And from that place, the layers begin to unfold. Why? Because from that place of the quiet awareness and the quieting of the mind, the thoughts begin to have space between them. The prana and the chi, the life force, begins to expand, and the shedding and the detoxing energetically begins to happen. That's why spending quiet time in nature, having intimate time with your beloveds, sitting silently is so key to dismantling the programming and the lies that we're not enough, or that we're not capable, or that we're limited in any capacity. The truth is that human beings are made of stardust, and stardust is made of light love frequency, and light love frequency can go everywhere. And that to me is somehow, this is just an intuitive hit, the God particle. I need to study the quantum physics on this one. I'm just starting to delve into quantum physics so I can explain this stuff. But in the experience of living life from the inside out, you start to call your energy back to you versus leaking it or losing it to codependent patterns and hooks that make you think that what you have outside is going to give you the fulfillment that you seek inside. So I want to do a little meditation right now. This is an awakening meditation, an embodied awakening meditation, which I'm writing my first book on. So for this meditation, I want to focus on three main points. Three main points are the earth, your heart, and the heavens. So take a moment, and if you would like to join me in this meditation, please do so for the sake of awakening. So my intention is to work with these three sacred energies to support personal collective awakening to the universal love and light that we are at this time. Knowing that as each individual awakens to the truth who we are as energy and does the inner work in order to come into sovereignty, that we can help rebirth a beautiful world that is rooted in authenticity and authentic awakening. Maybe that should be that should be in the next book, The Authentic Awakening. Sounds very pretentious, but that is my prayer. Judge not. Okay, so take a moment and sink your hips down. Feel the Mother Earth beneath you as we drop into this authentic awakening embodiment practice. Remembering that awakening is as natural as your bodily functions. I love this sentence came to me this morning in a session with a client. Awakening is as natural as the biological functions of your body. So your spirit's desire to awaken is already in you. Okay, so take 3 deep breaths. And the grounding breath is inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. So you can do this open arms, inhale, arms up, and exhale. Bring the energy down. Inhale, bring the arms up, and exhale, bring the arms down. One more time. Exhale through the mouth. And when we breathe this way, we're grounding, and sink your energy. Rest your hands on your lap, drop your shoulders, and sink the energy down into Mother Earth. Feel the energy of your body. Relax your jaw. And breathe fully into your abdomen. Stay rooted, knowing that you are connected and you are supported in your journey to awaken. In your journey to enlightenment. And then bring your awareness to your heart. And smile into your heart. And maybe bring your hand to your heart and connect to the energy of love. Now bring your breath in and out through your nose. Stay grounded. And imagine that love is filling your body, filling your mind. Starting to fill you from the inside. Expanding into your field. Connecting you to the frequency of unconditional love. And breathe into that. Stay rooted. And inhale, turn your head to the side, and exhale, clearing anything in the way of love, of truth. Turn your head to the other side. Inhale. And exhale. Doing any clearing. Inhale. Connect with any thoughts that think that you can awaken and blow them out. And then bring your head back to center. And bring your hands up above your head, palms above the head, connecting to your crown chakra and above, aligning with the heavens. And then opening up your arms, straight arms, connecting to the Infinite Father. And then bringing that energy down into your body, down into your heart. Inhale, arms up. Connecting to the heavens, the infinite Father, bring that energy down into your head, into your body, into the heart. Inhale, arms up. Connecting to the infinite Father, bringing that energy down through your crown, through your head, through your throat, into your heart. And then one time, bringing the energy down in your hands. Breathe it up from the mother and bring it into your heart. Great. And just take a moment and smile into your heart. Connecting to the feeling of love. Honoring the desire to awaken to freedom so that you feel free. Feel free to live your life based on your own intuitive impulse, rooted in love. Connecting your desire for freedom, for liberation, to live your life from the purity of your natural desire to self source, rooted in love. Connecting to the infinite desire, to the desire within the heart that's longing for freedom for yourself and for this world. And then relax your hands to your knees and simply relax your face and your body and simply sit. And be a witness to your breathing. Thank you so much for taking the time to check out this video and this meditation. Dedicate this video to you, to those watching, to your awakening. May this serve you and inspire you to do the work and reach out and get the support to do the work if need be, to clear anything in the way of discovering your radiant heart of love, of freedom, so that you can have your questions answered, so that you can have your guidance revealed, so that you can feel free in this world to manifest a world rooted in love for all beings. Thank you. If you have any questions, please post them below, and I will be happy to get back with you. Thank you so much, everybody. Namaste.